There's something missing. I think I found it. Alrighty, how's everybody doing today? Okay, let's jump right into it. We're going to do a real quick recap of what transpired yesterday. Let me see here. Oh, yeah, wow, we did a lot. We did a lot of damage. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I'm in the right place here. Okay. Let's keep running until we get to the second. 0203 first, first, first. Here we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 266. Only number on fire, designed for a 5-year-old to be able to articulate what number will make it happen. That's on a promise. (960) 7 hours before the number made its debut, I promised my VIP members by placing triple dollar signs on that individual number. Told them it would land on 8-2. It landed on 8-2. 7 hours. Ladies and gentlemen, I even provided the big money pattern straight and told them it would land between the dates 7/29 and 8/5. 1842 landed, ladies and gentlemen. I told my VIP members to focus on my top 5 4 digits, which I promised my top 2 big money patterns will manifest between the dates 7/31 to 8/7. I also guaranteed it would land in Georgia. Ladies and gentlemen, 849. Triple dollar sign promising that number would fall straight for my VIP members in Georgia. I told them to watch out between 7/29 and 8/4. Ladies and gentlemen, 034, the number 1 number. I promised that number would fall straight. As you can see, focus on my top 5 3 digits, which I promised my top 2 big money patterns. They will manifest between the dates 7/31 and 8/6. I guaranteed it would end up in Michigan. That was a promise kept straight. Ladies and gentlemen, 2682. I promised that number would stay on the straight and narrow. I told my VIP members to focus on my top 5 4 digits, which I promised my top 2 big money patterns would manifest between the dates 7/31 and 8/6. 2682. Promise kept straight. Here's your proof in writing. Ladies and gentlemen, 5208. I guaranteed it with double dollar signs for it to fall between the dates 7/28 and 8/4. Ladies and gentlemen, 204. I triple dollar signed it, promising that my VIP members could rely on that combination. Ladies and gentlemen, 710, my number one number. I promised it would fall straight. I kept that promise, told my VIP members, focus on my top 5 3 digits, which I promised my top 2 big money patterns would manifest between 7/31 and 8/6. I also guaranteed it would go to Florida. Number one number, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, there it is again. Boom, boom, boom. Ladies and gentlemen, 8795. I triple dollar sign 575987. I promised that number would fall between the dates 7/31 and 8/6. Ladies and gentlemen, 8210. Number one number. I promised my number one number would do what it do. It did what it did. Promise kept. Number one number. Ladies and gentlemen, 6019. They dropped 6910. I promised that number would show up and show out for my VIP. I told them that you could also guarantee seeing that number in Tennessee. 824, boom, boom, boom. 824. I promised that number would fall straight for my VIP between the dates 7/31 and 8/6. Ladies and gentlemen, 597. I promised 8597 would fall straight between the dates 7/30 and 8/5. Who's believing me? 729, I guaranteed my number 3 number would fall straight between the dates 7/31 and 8/6. 3882, I promise 2883 combination would fall. I said focus on my top 5 4 digits, which I promise my top 2 big money patterns. For 7/30 to 8/6, I also guaranteed it would go to Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, 0869. Number one number! You can't go wrong if you follow my simple winning instructions. I'm telling you top 2, but there's people doing what it do with just the number 1. So again, focus on my top 5 4 digits, which I promise my top 2 big money patterns will manifest between the dates 8/1 and 8/7. I also guaranteed it would go to Texas. Number one number. Ladies and gentlemen, 038. I promised 038. I said, focus on my top 5 3 digits, which I promise my top 2 will manifest. I didn't say it might. I didn't say maybe. I didn't say I think. Somebody is getting it all wrong, and then there's a few of you that are getting it all right. Again, do not join. What do we have right here? Don't join Dynamic Predictions dot on render if you can't invest in the number one number. Don't join dynamic predictions and then ask me what numbers to play. I'm telling you, the first two numbers across any of the 50 states will do. I have selected seven that will do what it do every single day. Let's move it right along real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, 286. There's your 268. I guarantee top three numbers to fall between the dates 729 and 85. Your 4690. Ladies and gentlemen, I promised 9064 combination would make its debut between the dates 728 and 83. Today is 83. Ladies and gentlemen, I did one extra. I gave 6940 guaranteeing it. That's a double, 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 double big money pattern. When I tell you that I am the program, I am the algorithm, I am the communicator between the number and you. Once you get that through your head, then you're all golden. But until then, you're just going to be lost in the sauce. I'm telling you, 3998. I promised that number would fall between the dates 727 and 83. Again, you can't receive this if you don't believe this. Again, 652, 652. Straight, ladies and gentlemen. 625. That's a backup plan. 753. Ladies and gentlemen, I triple dollar sign 753. I promise 753 would land between the dates 81 and 88. I even said it would go to North Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, 3262. You can see top three numbers 2623. Boom, boom, boom. Same story every single day. Now, let's go take a look and see what kind of damage we did here. Okay, we're going to start off with Georgia. Okay. I guaranteed that number 2 days ago, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna keep doing it. We're gonna keep doing this over and over and over and over. I'm gonna take that one out there. We gotta go there. focus on my top 5 4 digits. I said these numbers will manifest between the date 7/31 and 8/7. I also guarantee it would go to Georgia. You get to see it for yourself every single day. Let me do this right here. Remember, do not send me money and then ask me what numbers to play. Do not send me money and then ask me what numbers to play. I repeat, do not send me money and then ask me what numbers to play. I will send your money right back to you. Five 7 3, I promised would fall for my VIP members today. Mm. Mm. 5573, ladies and gentlemen. Georgia first drawing. On 8-3. I want you to focus on my top 5 4 digits, which I promised my top 2. Fire, triple dollar signs will manifest between the dates 8-3 to 8-9. I also guarantee the number 3 and the number 4 positioned numbers, along with the double dollar signs in Tennessee, Texas, Georgia, Michigan, Ohio, Florida, North Carolina, and of course, your state. in the next 24 to 48 hours in most cases. I'm going with 5097. I'm going with 6375. I'm going with 3572. Oh, wow. I'm going with 657. Nope. I'm going with 65. Nope. 5670. 5670. 5670. 5670. Appreciate that clarity. 8466. 3795, 3795, 3795, 3795, extremely strong. 8520, 8520, 85. You will see 8520 make its debut. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's see if I got this straight here. Nope, I don't have it straight yet. Still looking at the wrong state. Georgia was first. We got your 5573. So if you're not a member, if you're not a member, if you're not a member, I want you to focus on the sum of 20, the sum of 2, and the sum of 11. Okay? If you're not a member. If you're a member, I want you to focus on my top two numbers, flat out. I want you to focus on my fire once you go to bankroll. I want you to focus I want you to focus on the triple dollar signs once your bankroll allows it. Again, I am working on the investment side of my website. It's taken me a little more than what I thought it was going to take, so you got to bear with me. But if there's a way that you can use your cryptocurrency, of course, you can, by all means, jump right in. But right now, I am trying to be able to figure out how I am going to do the conversion um, when my members start, pulling in their investments. And if you've been with me for a while, you'll know that, you know, there will be days for the people that are in the maximum. That means that you're getting every guaranteed number that I put out, every number that I promised. You'll get those numbers for 3 drawings. And every time one of those numbers lands, that means that you won. Okay? Flat out. Then I'm going to have a smaller package where you're just going to get the number one number. And you just saw me do about 5 or 6 number one numbers. So that means that you would have hit 5 or 6 times with the number one number on a promise. Okay? So again, if you're not a member, I want you to focus on the sum of 20. From the sum of 20, I want you to have a backup plan with the sum of 11. And then if you have like a special interest in that last sum, which is the sum of two, it will give you 20110. Add a zero for the four digit. Simple as that. Okay? Alrighty, let me see here. I've done this.
This Android tablet costs less than $70.
Alrighty, let's do a little advertising real quick. Okay, we did have it up there. It's not showing it.
Hello, my diagnostic for the I love my diagnostic for the dreams.
If you haven't joined my Facebook group, by all means, jump into Dynamic Predictions. Okay, let's go back over to the Discord channel. Normally, this is the first place these go. And everything looks good. 3577-7553-5097-6375-3572. Special emphasis on 3572. You got 5670. You got quad ones, 8466-3795, protecting every number you see. And then you have 8520. That's sacred information right there, ladies and gentlemen. Believe it or not. Okay, let's take a look at 749. 749. 749. Today is 8/3. 749. I guaranteed it would fall by today's date. Again, if you're watching my lives, this will become very, very simple, very, very easy to you because you'll see a pattern of what I'm doing. You'll see that everything that I speak is truth when I tell you to focus on my top five three digits, and I tell you that they will manifest between the dates 7/28 to 8/3. Ladies and gentlemen, I guaranteed this number would fall straight by my deadline date that I set for it to fall. Now, if that is not, that's number 4, that's detailed information for people who want to invest in the best work you've ever seen on this plane of existence. And there's your proof in writing every single day. And remember, these is always in most cases. So when I tell you most cases and you don't believe me, shame on you. When I don't provide the number, then shame on me. I'm always going to provide the winning number. This is why they want to ban me from all social media, because the truth hurts. You heard the static in the attic just right then. The truth is hurting. That is hurting. The truth hurts. What I do hurts. Let's see here. Take that. Now, let's go over here. We just did 749. I'm going to show you just how powerful my predictions are. Take that out. 749. That's not right. Okay. 7 and 4. 479. 497. 947. 974. 20 hours, 20 hours, 20 hours, 20 hours, 20 hours, 20 hours, 20 hours. That's how strong I am with my numerological powers. That's all it is to it. Ladies and gentlemen, at 5:05 p.m. yesterday, 655 told me focus on my top 5 3 digits, which I promise my top 2 big money patterns. Will, not may, not might, or I think. I don't do none of that shit. From 8-2 to 8-8, I also guaranteed it to go to Georgia, and I said it would fall within the next 24 to 48 hours. In most cases, I just told you about that. We gotta pull these down here. Get rid of the evidence that I am time traveling. There we have it here, 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 here. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. And let's see here. There you have it where I guaranteed the number would fall straight. There you have it where I promised that combination would make its debut today. Okay, moving right along. Oh, we got to do a little bit of advertising here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take it on over here to your 749. Let's do this. 749. Okay. Okay, it's hanging up on me, so let's go move on out to the next one. Let's see here. I got to give you what's going to happen here real quick. Let's see if we can do that. Select all, copy. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Georgia first draw on 8-3 was 749. Focus on my top 5 3 digits, which I promise my top 2 big money patterns. 8-3 to 8-9, I also guarantee the number 3 and number 4. which is 641 and 702 873 749. You will see 965. You will see 904. You will see 338 on fire and 8 deuce deuce. 799 is a backup plan and 206 is a backup combination. Okay, let's move on over to 418. 418, 418, 418, 418, 418, ladies and gentlemen. 418, 3 days ago, I told everybody to stay on 418, 418, 418, 418. As you can see, I'm covering up the sacred information. I am not even mentioning the sacred information. I'm just giving you the goods from that information where I said that this number would manifest between the dates 731 and 86. I also guaranteed it to drop in Ohio. As a straight big money pattern. Now this is what I'm talking about, VIP members. Here you see this number is out of position for winning, right? But as you do your due diligence, when I post these into the Discord, you're going to see a pattern. So you see the 418 straight, right? And we have, let's see here. This is just due diligence right here. Number 3. Focus on my top 5 3 digits. They will manifest between 727, 83. Deadline met. Guaranteed. And I put the proof right here in writing every single day. I even said it would go to Ohio. Guaranteed that. Okay, let's go and take care of this 841. Or was I right about that or no? 841 is Ohio. It's actually 418. Watch out for 841 now. Watch out for 239. Watch out for 174. Watch out for 508. Eight 842, 842, 842. 649, 649, 649, 848. This is 4418. Ohio midday draw on 8-3. Okay, let's go over here. Fill in the blanks. There's your 418. There's your 418 predicted to fall straight on the date. There it is, it's guaranteed to fall by the deadline date. Two 418 841 174 508 842 649 699 848. Those are the numbers that you will see. So as you can see, I did guarantee 418 would fall straight on today's date. 7819, 7819, 7819. 7819, 7819, 7819. Watch out for 0656. Write that down. Watch out for 5506. Write that one down. $3:40 a.m. Who was up with me when I promised 1798 combination would make its debut and do what it do? I told y'all this is sacred information, but don't nobody want to believe me. $3:40 a.m. I received a message from 2300 where it said, look, put triple dollar signs to manifest between the dates 8-2 and 8-8. Also guarantee that that number would travel to Ohio in record time within the next 24 to 48 hours. and to put it in writing that this would happen, but nobody's believing me. So I promised 7819 would make its debut, and nobody believed me. Hmm. Write down 1897, write down 1897, write down 1897, 1897. Write it down. This way, you'll have the goods. Nine two three zero 9230 9230 8291 8291 9066 9066 3240 3240 3240. 3260. Heavy, 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 heavy. 5064. Heavy, heavy, heavy. 0265. Heavy, heavy, heavy. All right, so, wow. You know what? On the sly, I'm just going to give those 5 stars so you'll know that I'm not playing with that particular prediction. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, moving right along. 7819, 7819, 7819. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's see if I did this right. Nope, not yet. Again, if you are not a VIP member and you need something to focus on, I want you to focus on the sum of 25 as your major. If you are not a VIP, I want you to go with the sum of 16 as a backup plan. And last but not least, you want to roll with the sum of 7. Okay? What's happening here? There we go. Okay, so you see that I promised that number would fall on today's date. You're going to be seeing 9230-7819-7981. I did give you the other alternative way. Watch out for 8291. Watch out for 9066-3240. Watch out for 5064 with $5 signs. 3260 with $5 signs. Watch out for 0265. Promised. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to take a small break. I will write down (751), ladies and gentlemen, 751-13-422. 1963. Okay, so I do have the answer. Three one nine six 3196 3196 3196 3196 5491 5491 5491 3196 5491 5491 5491. Mm-hmm. 8720. Here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Time stamped and everything. But nobody still wants to believe. Focus on my top 4 digits. Said they would manifest from 7:30 to 8:05. I guaranteed the number 3 number would show up and show out in Michigan. Spell Michigan out for you. Okay, let's see here. So that was 9163. We're going to see something even better. Watch out for 6183. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if I did this one right. Yeah. Okay. $19.63 with Michigan dropped. I guaranteed 9163 would fall in our favor. Ladies and gentlemen, 5420-1963, 3196, 5421-1471, 5491, you will see 6052, 2681, and 8720. Okay, let's move on to your 751, 751, 751, 8 hours ago, 8 hours ago, 8 hours ago, 8 hours ago, 751, 8 hours ago, straight, 753, 751, 8 hours ago, straight. $751 guaranteed, $751 guaranteed to make it by 8-4. It's going to be promised in the future. Straight. Watch out for 999s. Watch out for 136. Congratulations to the winners who believe in my work. I did say that I guarantee double dollar sign, first best alternate, would go to Michigan. I did say focus on my top five four digits. I did say they would manifest between the date 729 and 84. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your top five. If you don't read anything into my prediction, and if you don't leave anything out, you would be a very successful investor. All three numbers. Perfect score for the VIP. Now, I'm going to find you a promise real quick. Let's see here. Didn't take long, did not take long for me to find the promise. Triple dollar signs will manifest between the dates 8-1 and 8-7. I also guarantee that number would go to Michigan. And I also said that it would happen within the next 24 to 48 hours. So 751 drops. I guaranteed 751 straight with double dollar signs. I promise 751, 517 with triple dollar signs to fall on today's date. Okay, so before you know it, it'll be 2 o'clock and I'll be looking at Florida. And then before you know it, I'll be looking at North Carolina. Again, do not join if you cannot invest in the first two numbers, or at least the number one number, to win multiple times each day in my VIP group. Again, once you go to dynamicpredictions.onrender.com, subscribe to a package. Once you get your receipt, take that receipt and send it to dynamicallydriven@gmail.com, and I will give you a link to join my private Discord channel. And that's where you see all of these predictions firsthand before I modify them and just put what is promised and what is guaranteed on the website. That's the plus that you get on the website. So I'm getting ready to go upload right now to the website what you just saw me put out on the Discord. And again, if you can't follow winning instructions, don't join. I'm going to tell you that right out. So if you join my group and then you ask me what numbers to play, I'm just going to simply refund your money. Abundant prosperity in health and in wealth to all who follow me and believe in the hard work that you see me accomplishing every single day without failing. As you can see, we nailed all numbers drawn, 3-digit and 4-digit. Tennessee will be rolling out this evening. We expect to have a perfect score on that as well. Again, I will see everybody at the winner's table no matter what. And I guess I got to go get busy.